Welcome to the Grand Design Series for Workers and Resources Soviet Republic, and we're picking up on the 28th of May 2001. And I want to start by saying, as usual, a big thank you for all your comments and feedbacks. You guys give me a lot to think about. And one of the things that's starting to strike me with this series, which we all know is coming to an end fairly soon, and I'm pushing along quite hard. What I'm noticing now is I'm getting a bit of an opportunity to experiment with certain elements of the game, which have got subtle detail. And I want to give a special shout out to Vimes for some of his insights that's kind of pushing me in this direction. Because it's not until you got a really big economy where you've got constant things going on, you start to think about some mechanics which don't really come into it when you're just really fixated about trying to get your economy up and running. And so in this part, I want to talk a little bit about that. Also, as usual, we're going to start with the disaster report, which in fact is not so much of a disaster, because if you look here now, you can see that the number of trains whizzing around this area has dropped considerably. And what I did through the winter, while I was actually playing forward, is I've shifted some of the responsibility for distributing food and alcohol and that to Stilton. So Stilton's getting its own food and what's from the source rather than from the central area. And also it's also providing food, alcohol and electronics to this area here as well. And that seems to have made quite a big difference with respect to how things are actually moving forward. And you can see it's actually taken the pressure off this area. Now I can actually say that I've got no really major disasters to report, but I've had a few things which have kind of intrigued me. Now the first thing I want to do is actually build a pollution monitor here. The reason I want to build a pollution monitor here is I need to find out the effect of the proximity of the coal mine. And we're just going to set that to high priority. Not that I think these guys are particularly that busy. Yeah, because I want to know how much pollution is coming down in this direction for a reason which will become a bit more apparent later on. Now, just to give you an update of what's going on, what I've done here is I've bought another ship. We might as well set it up while I'm thinking about it. Is the fact that what's happened is my factory's got a little bit super productive, and what we're going to do is we're going to export again to beyond the borders like that, and we're just going to get these guys going. I mean it's not really crucial because you can see we've already got 67 million, but I just wanted to get this out the way and up and running. Now another thing, actually one thing I do need to do before I forget about it, is we've got these I want to set up this because I'm going to be using quite a lot of cupboard holes. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Get these produced. I do want to check where these guys are taking. Oh yeah, you're doing the long range delivery, because I did notice that when I was checking this, we're down to 4 covered holes now. So that is there. What I've been doing, and I can't remember where I built it. Oh, I think it's up here. I did a little bit of review about the clearing the fields, and what I've done is I've kind of got the distribution office, but I think looks like we got a broken down vehicle there. Just keep an eye on it. If it doesn't disappear very, very quickly. There is a... Oh, I know where it is. Sorry. Ha! Yeah, I don't think this is finished yet. Okay, well, get that on there. Get that built. Yeah, the broken down symbols gone. So we've got that there. Now we're going to work in this area at the moment. Then I'm going to go up to the top and work on our new town a little bit. And then I want to do some planning. Now, over here, I've got a little bit of a mystery. And this comes down to what I alluded to when I did the initial introduction. Is that I've got a bit of a problem here with crime. You can see we've got blocks here with 4% crime, 3%. And at the moment, the coverage is brilliant. You can see here, we're actually arresting everyone. But I think the problem is actually down here. Because if I click on these buildings, oh, this is not a good example. I had crime rate here. Where's it going on? It says 10 unreported crimes. And if I show the crime overlays, you see we've got a lot of crime down in this area. And I wonder whether the fact that this area is not patrolled, and of course all the workers come from up there. I do wonder whether this is actually, how can you put it, a bit of a problem area. So what I want to do is we're going to put a small police station. Now, this is very much an experiment. So if any of you guys got an opinion on this, feel free to chuck in your, chuck in and post a comment. I think if the police stable should fit into here. Yeah, we can squish you in here, and it won't take long to build. We only need a mud road, so we don't have to complicate this too much. We're going to get the swarm on this. We want it built ASAP. High priority. What I do need to know is how many police cars have I got? Wow, we're down to 3, eh? That's a bit odd. I need some police cars. Where do you deliver? Because I've got a plan as well. Okay, you're actually delivering up to there. I think that'd be. Okay, let me just. We're gonna build some police cars as well. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So who's actually delivering to here? Okay. Ooh, where are you going? Oh wow, this is a rare event. We've actually caught a vehicle in its on its way to do a replacement. Let me just check. We go through a lot of vehicles. Wow, we are. Okay, I'm gonna need to keep an eye on this. Anyway, back to what I was wanted to talk about. It's not the train I want. That reminds me, we've got to do something with the train. What I want to do is remove that port. And where are you actually picking up from? Sorry about this. That's not the. It's this one, isn't it? Where are you picking up from? You're picking up from here. Are you actually producing anything? Okay, let me just change this. Cancel that. We'll build about 2 police cars there, and then what we're going to do is stack up some 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 there. And soon we saw an oil tanker disappear, so what we will do is build a couple of those. Use this one because this has got a train link, which it goes all the way up to the top of the map. I think if we go to, I think this is the one that's the top of the map. Let me just see. Yeah, if we go, and what I'm going to do is use this line as a filter to send stuff up to here. You can see it's actually fully loaded here. It's got loads and loads of wagons. I mean, we could move over a few things, but the idea is to get a selection of vehicles into here that will actually get a few things done. Right, so let's just get back to here, because the next thing, whoops, next thing I want, and we don't need the crime overlay now. What I do need is all these covered holes. Got 4 of them. Because part of my solution of reducing the effect of the trains is that I wanted to deliver the goods by manual process. So just let the game run. I want to put these in up here. I want 4 up here. Let's begin with. Because what I want to do is bring the food, alcohol and clothes up by truck to here. Copy you to there. Just leave that for the moment. So these 2 will be a duplicate. Actually, what I could do is I want to remove the food and clothes from here. Food and clothes. Up. Food and clothes. This is going to be a little bit risky, but we don't need that pickup point. So what the idea is going to be is this one will deliver the, you could call the non-essentials, and this one is going to so we could we'll keep food and clothes in here. We don't need to deliver to the water treatment plant. We'll remove you and you. Reduce you to there. You won't need to deliver to the pub. That's the second water treatment plant. At the moment we've got a dual pickup, but that's down to the fact that cafe, bar and pub. And then the idea is going to be is that this will exclusively supply the food and clothes. So we'll get that sorted, and then that should provide more reliable. Now I've got a very interesting problem down here of my own making, which I want to talk about, because I need to move these metro trains. But you can see here, I've actually filled the train thing up. And I need a train to move the metro trains. But if I come here and say, go to here, it'll tell me it's full. So what I'm going to have to do is stack this up. No vehicles can be sent to this depot. Come on. It's got a slot. Now, one thing I have been seeing, and this is probably an example of it, that the game is now lagging a little bit on its calculations. So where things are almost instantaneous in the past, what you've got now is sometimes things like that. When you move something, you've got to let the game run for 30 seconds to a minute before you expect to move on and do something else. Well, that's going on. I just want to go up to the top now. I'll give you an update of what's going on here. Not here. Yeah, over here. This area is coming together. Just give you an update. I've put another hotel in and a few more buildings here. I had a bit of a debate on whether the buildings should be high rises, but I think these will fit. These are Ampere buildings. And then I was looking at this side with respect to a transition to over here, in the sense that, and what these are is they're Tarzan built flats. So I must admit I haven't used them for a very long time, but just to show you, they're quite a little bit odd. Is it Tarzan or Tarzan? Sorry, not Tarzan. So if I change that to a U, and these are these ones. They hold, each one of these holds 430 people, and they come in different colours. I think they're Polish, if I'm correctly. As I say, it's a little while since I've used them. So these will solve two problems. One, I want the transition from this town to this town. Plus, I don't want to populate these Dnipro flats at the moment because they're quite big. So I thought if I build these, because what we've got is the possibility of being able to supply this area. So the next thing I want to do is come in here. Actually, no, it's not there. I might as well do it this way. Unload. We need meat, food, clothes, electronics here. I think I've set up the... Yep. And what we're going to do is we're going to bring the stuff into here. And then what I need to do is put a power supply into this area. And what that will do is allow us to spread this town into this town in a controlled way. And of course, what it will do is it will start to absorb this workforce up. What we will need is a kindergarten, though. I don't really want to put that there, but I think what I could do, if I could put a kindergarten here. Let me just see. What's our biggest kindergarten? Biggest kindergarten. I put you on this corner here, like that. That will service this area and this area. We're probably going to need a lot more kindergartens, but kindergartens is the only building that is resistant to public transport. Other buildings will, the residents will catch public transport to get somewhere, but kindergartens is the one area where that won't happen. You know, they need to walk from their home to get to there. Actually, are we actually building this? No, we're not. I want to get this built here. Get this done. I want to check actually, because I make sure I don't want no one can move in. Just want to check these as well. I want to keep a fairly tight control over people moving in. We need that built and that built as well. I think we're get that built there. Now the next thing I want to take a look at, and again this is a curiosity test, and it's actually Nova who actually sparked this, because because one thing I do every morning is I check the workshop for any mods. And what I did is I went in, let's clear that there, and find the church. And Nova's quite literally just published this mod, and it's quite I think according to the description, this actually is can act as a church or a place of like where people will visit. So I thought this would fit quite well into this area, and I think it would look pretty good opposite the White Tower here. So we're just going to put that little footpath connection in there. Hopefully we'll get that built. And then what we're going to do is, once this is built, we have a footpath in here, connect up the hotel. I think this is the entire hotel capacity, because let me just show you that. It comes under leisure. It's the Hotel Ukraine. This could hold 600 tourists, and I think we've combined with the Central Continental here. I think that will be more than enough for our kind of residents coming in to this point of view here. What is this? What is this? Why did I build this? Oh, I know. I think I built this as an experiment because it's going to take quite a long time to get all this up and running. And I thought about bringing in tourists by train, but we could also use it, though, come to think of it, to send a workforce out here. If I could get a pattern, no, because this would come here, and then there's a backlink there. Because what I want to do is get this area operational reasonably quickly with respect to this area here. I think what I might do is just to give a little bit of a workforce here. Once this is delivered, we can get a small workforce in here and they can provide food to this area. Just want to check my train guys here. Okay, these guys have run out of work. One thing I do want is this built, because this is the last couple of bits there. Underground, where are you? Oh, we certainly need that going, because that would be the tunneling machine. This guy's going this way. Wow, that's a long bit of track. Okay, actually we're going to cancel that. We're going to allocate the tunneling machine to that first, I think. You're building to there. Then we'll come back up this way. And there's still quite a long bit of track as well, so kind of a bit reluctant to, because normal construction trains, they're pretty good at what they do, but at the same time they're pretty rubbish at tunneling. I think we're going to leave it at that for the moment and not load anything else. While we're here, I'll just kind of cover this area, not this area, this area. We've now got, oh wow, we've nearly got a connection to the border here. So I just want to check these trains as well. And then we'll curve back and play with the metro trains. While we're flying over the power station, we've only got one more power connection here. If I come to high tension, only got the one power connection here. And what I want to do is build out this way. Just make sure these guys are laying the track. Whoops. Let me just see. Okay, you've only got the two laying the track here. We will be laying a lot more track out this way eventually, if I can get to it in this part. If not, I'll talk about it and then I'll actually design it off camera if we get things right. We should now have our train here. That's it, you've got to work from back to front. What I need to do now, again, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to run this as a transfer rather than an individual route. Oops. Go all the way back down. Because I could set it up, but the trouble is it could be a long train. Actually, can we do it as a transfer? No. Okay, let me just do this again. Well, just tell it to change depots. Okay, let me just go here. And what we're going to do is see, this is the reason why, is that these metro trains are too long. What I'm actually doing now is just moving the metro trains up into position. Wow, okay, this guy's did a very quick job. Got no police officers, yes, so it's only just finished. Okay, we got some police cars here, I think. Yeah, they should be. So what we're going to do is just move these in. I don't think we need the full 8. We'll start with 4 in here, and that should be enough, I think. And we'll put a 5 in. It's not like these are expensive vehicles to buy. Right, we got the police now doing this. Yep. So there'll be no more crime in this area anymore. And what I'm hoping, as I say, I'm not worried about fixing the crime in this area. What I'm hoping is that it will reduce the crime rate up here. While we're flying by here, let me just check this area. Okay, we got something right at the end here. And I think, let's see what these guys think they're doing. Yeah, they're finished. So if I come over to here, where is it? Where's the rail connection? Look, the line's on here. There it is. What this will do is give me a fully electrified line to the border, which gives us another export route for goods. So I'm kind of half thinking that if we've got surplus electronics, we might be able to export some of the electronics to the border. We've got, or we could say electronics, or we could do food. I think I've got surplus food here, but we need to get that connection done. Let me just check my list. I've got a list of things I want to talk about. NATO connection, Crossrail. We've moved the metro trains. We've talked about the police station. And we got the second ship. Yep. So what I want to do now is start talking about our next big project. It's the one area where we got weakness. If I show you the economy. This is what we're importing, and this is what we imported last month. Don't worry about the small amount of mechanic. I'm still trying to find out who's actually offending me by doing this. The same with the electronics. There's small leak of an import of electronics and electro components. I've got a feeling it's down in our original old town. So at the moment we're only really importing on a regular basis crops, oil and iron. And you can see here, if I come to this month, why have I imported 113 tons of clothes? That shouldn't happen. Who is importing clothes? It can't be imported into here because this is full. Are you offending me? No, I think I've tidied you up. About Cloverton. It is a hunt. What was it we imported? We imported. This cost me 38 million. No wonder I'm not making as much money. Okay, where are you coming from? You're importing clothes. What are you doing? I thought you're meant to be exporting. Okay. Or is that the fact that did we run out of clothes? So I put this in as an emergency contingency. So do we have a close issue here? Right. I hadn't realized that. This could be a problem. What is the setting here for what? I can't remember what the setting was now. Export, load, import, south. It says if that gets to 20%. Ooh. Okay, I'm gonna leave that. I wasn't aware that I'd put a contingency on there. I know I'd considered it. We're gonna drop you to 10%. I'm going to leave that because this is our major source of clothes. This is an issue because we can't empty this out completely because this supplies clothes to this local area. That is not good news. I'm going to need to think about clothes production. Then again, we are pressing 130,000. That is thing right. Next thing I want to check is, well, just spotted you. What are you? What are you? Oh, you're on the way to the scrapping facility. I think what I'm going to do is there is something. I want some more. This is why they was producing more covered holes. Let me just get down to here. Where's the stockpile of covered holes? I think we're going to produce some more because I'm just about to use up some more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How many cupboard holes in here? We got a pile, but I'm just about to use them. I think we'll start 4, 5. Now the reason I'm doing this is that I was actually watching a video, and to be honest, I can't remember who actually made it. It was a tutorial video, and it was about farming. I've got absolutely no idea why I was actually looking at it. What they actually said is that the way farms work is that when the harvest is going on, that what happens is that, okay, we've done it all now. That's good. Yeah, what happens is that when the harvest starts, and we're nearly on the harvest, so maybe I'll play through and show it, that the trucks that are actually in the farm only go out and collect crops from the field where the combine harvester is. But the moment the combine harvester finishes, the trucks then follow the combine harvester. So for example, say you've got we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I've got 9 combine harvesters. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 actual covered holes. 8, 9, 10 covered holes. And what that means is these covered holes actually follow the combine harvesters, and then they don't go back to start emptying the other fields until all the fields have been harvested or been kind of past selected. So the way that you can ensure that you get all the residual crops, especially on these really big farms, is that you use a distribution office to ensure that you pick up all the extra bits and pieces, which is what I've done on a lot of other farms as well. You can see I've got them on these farms, but that's the only farm that I haven't done it. I think the only other one that I haven't actually used, I've got is this one. So I thought I'd do it as a bit of an experiment just to see whether we got here with fertilizer plants. Oh yeah, we have got a backup one here. Oh, these guys are old. Oh no. Where are you going to? You're picking up from there. Where you go? You're going to there. Why are you importing crops from? Okay, let me just do this. 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, this farm isn't particularly that big. I think what that was is that I got some crops that were stuck in this warehouse. So I set this up to, how can you put it? I set this up to empty the crops out of here. So what that will do is that, I think this is the role that was originally set up for it to do, but to set you to 80%. So you will ensure that everything is picked up from this area as well. Let's just have a quick run round and see what the status is. That there, still not totally happy with this, although this one is now emptying. This one is empty. Let's see, this silo is still full. So, but then again, we've cannot store clothes. Yeah, I'm still not totally convinced about that. I need to import clothes. I'm going to need to monitor that. Let me just see. This one's empty. This one's empty. But again, the fertility's down a little bit on these fields. So you're on reserve supply. So are you. This one's empty. You're on reserve supply as well. But we've got. Let me just go up and check this up here. Yeah, well, I mean, we got a lot of pile of clothes here. So this is working. Got a load of water trucks here. I'm not actually sure what they're doing there. Oh, that doesn't look good. What is that? Oh no, it's fixed. Okay. The rest of the video, what I want to do is start working on a new project here. Because what I want to do here is, and it's another bit of an experiment, because the one area, well, probably I can check things, can't I? What am I doing? Let me just see. I can never remember. Okay, close. Let me just push this back. See, we got this massive import spike. As far as I can tell, we are in balance. But then we got this massive import spike with clothes. But the one I really want to look at is chemicals. You can see here at the moment, this is where you can check things. Production is virtually on a par with actual consumption by industry for chemicals. You can see at the moment we're producing chemicals there, and you can see that we're actually using them at roughly the same rate. So that's the one Achilles heel I've got at the moment. And I think this is an opportunity to actually take a look at this monster. Where is it? Now, this is a monster. It's actually in the game. It needs 700 workers. It produces 9.4 tons of chemicals. It needs gravel, crops, water, wood, and oil. Now, I could import the oil, but what I'm thinking is that we've got this oil field up here, which we can use, and we've got wood. We possibly got crops if I can import from over here. Now, once this cross-link's built, because up in this area, we've got our food crop silo here, which is pretty useless with respect to what I'm doing in the bottom corner. So we don't necessarily need to build a farm, but we've got oil here. And the other thing is that the power station over here is getting a little bit topped out as well. So what I'm thinking is that we've got coal in this area, not a lot. You can see it's a bit patchy. We've got coal up around here in this basin here, but we've also got little bits of coal over here. So what I'm thinking is a town here which can then supervise our oil field here. And of course, if we produce a surplus, we can always export it back down to our oil refineries, especially the one down in the bottom of the map here. So the first thing I want to do is a bit of more railway engineering, because what I would like to do, we got the rail line out here, which we built into here, because we've got iron up in this area, which could be exploited. We've got coal here. So what we could do is power this area with a coal-fired power station. The alternative is that we build a single nuclear power station and then bring the nuclear fuel over from that one. But that's still open for discussion at the moment. What I would like to do, actually I'm looking at this, because we got this line here. Yeah, I don't want to bring the trains all down through here, because this has got a lot of short lengths of track in. And if we actually, yeah, it just occurred to me, if we mine coal, because if I come down to here, we still need to get lots of coal into this area to keep the steelworks going, because the coal at the moment is the big issue to keep the steelworks. It's not like it's a major problem, but yeah, I think if we, so we've got this route here, it's nice and open. Oh yeah, and it means we can run longer trains from here. Yeah, I'm liking this. Yeah, we're gonna dig coal here, and the workers can go to church if they want. We'll have the town over up in this area. We'll have chemicals with the oil export. Yeah, I think this is an area that's certainly worth developing. Right. What I want to, but we're going to need a cross link out to here. But I think we're going to start from here. We got this bit here, and I want this to be. Yeah, I think what we're going to do, the only trains that come out here are what we call it, to deliver the fuel at the moment, because the surplus oil just goes straight down the pipeline. This has never been needed. So yeah, I think we've got it. So what I'm going to do here is we're going to strike off, oops, no, I want it there. We're going to strike off a rail line there. Put the chain signal. We've got to think about how to build. Oh, we've got a crossover there. Okay, I've got a plan. I think if we view, oh, there's an opportunity here as well for the aluminium scrap, isn't there? Oh yeah. Because this is becoming here. Let me just see. Did I? This has got potential. Lots and lots of potential. I did put aluminium scrap in here, didn't I? Okay, I haven't actually allocated these. We want one for construction waste, one for metal scrap, and one for aluminium scrap, because what I was going to do is sell the aluminium scrap. But what we can do now is, if I come over to here where that is, if I, yeah, we don't want to cram that. Yeah, this could be useful. If I run you out like that, we'll come off of here like that. We got a nice rail construction office here. If we run long lengths of track like that. So we're going to go on a fairly grand scale here. Oops. And then what I'm going to do is come out a bit more there. I want to leave plenty of space here so that we can build a rail infrastructure into there. Then you're going to come round that. Right, we've got to get across this river. We could cross there. Bring the track in there because we've got to get to there. Yeah, I think if I can put a bridge across here, we can put nothing that special there. Trim you back a bit more like that. And of course we've got plenty of space up here, plenty of options to mine the gravel that we need for the chemical plant as well. We can set a small yeah, I think this will work. This is probably going to be our last major development of this series, but it is going to be a major development. So we can put that in there like that. And then we're kind of run you round in a long curve like that. And we can keep curving you round. Actually, bring you back to there. We can hook you onto the end of here. And that still leaves us plenty an option to develop this area should we need it. Right, so come there. The big problem will be injecting power into this area. Because if this route gets busy, we're going to have a lot of track that got no power connection. Let's just take out these. Actually, I think I can be a bit tricky here because I can do that, that, and that like that. We can take additional track off of this direction like that. Put you there, 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 and there. And what we can do is, because I've got the crossover here, just there. So what I can do is, where's the, actually, we could be really super sneaky here. So we got a crossover there. Okay, let me just do, might be able to make this even a bit more efficient. Change that to a mixed signal. It's not like this is going to be a major. So if we put you there, you there, you there. This will create a double block. So what we'll have to do is put you there to separate that. And then what we can do, oh, we've got the one train here. What we can do is build in from this direction like that. Let me just check. Actually, what we could do is build in from this direction as well. Yeah, we can. So we've put one there. I need to make sure that there's still a train working up here. Yep. Yeah, so we can have all three trains and eventually 4 trains making this connection into here. And then, so what we're going to do is come into here. What's this ground level like? It's not too bad. I mean, this line will come in here. Then we will run out I might bring another line across here, but I think this will serve its purpose. We do need to put in the aluminium processing. This will come down into this area, and then, as I say, we can build the town here. So what I might do is a little, can I do, I've got a free, what we call it, out here. Yeah, we can, but what I'll do is I'll do this off camera. We'll do a little bit of leveling here so that we can build a town here, although this is reasonably flat. And just tidy this up a little bit. Yeah, I think what we're going to need to do is build a self-contained community up here. Now, if we're importing crops in, we can produce our own food and clothes up here as well. So yeah, we'll make this into a completely self-contained community, I think. And that will be the subject of the next part, because I'm aware that I'm running out of time, and I need to kind of check a couple of things which I would like to do in this video. So we're going to come back over to here, make sure everything is going along. One thing I would like to do is we've got this substation here that's got power on. We're going to need to get power into this area, proper power, and get rid of this kind of wind turbine. I think what we will do is, just to finish off, is I'm going to put in, we're going to need some kind of substation. So I think we put you here. Actually, if I put you there, like that, let's put a mud road in. And I think we'll go underground here. I must admit, I'm really starting to like the underground cables. I think, see, we're only going to be providing power to the local area. I think 7 megawatts will be, actually, we take one off that way and run you that way. Right, let's look at the power overlay. We've got power here, but that could overload as we build this area in here. So my instinct is to put in a substation. If we can overlap it, yeah, I think that will work. If I put in, I'd like to cover those blocks there. Put that in. But I don't want to go too far into this town. So say, for example, say we put you about there. And again, we're going to go underground. And what we can do is take off one from here. Put you to there. This is the 1.8. I must admit, I'm really getting to like using these combination underground power cables. Right, like that. Now, this substation there, but what I'd like to do is, the town's going to expand this way, so what we will do is put, basically this will be a permanent power supply to this area here. I mean, we'll have to put sanitation in as well. This one we can just slip you to there. Because what we've got is a repair station for our kind of metro here. So what we got here is the fire station and the hospital, which we can do, which is looking good. We will need to put the sanitation down into here. So we're going to need to bring the kind of, at the moment we've got a sewer drain there, so we will probably need to put because this is all going to be very, very big. I'm getting a bit distracted. Apologies. We're going to put you there. I think this is going to produce a lot of wastewater, so I think this will need a dedicated line. That's going to kink out really wide. I think that will be okay, because that will leave one more connection there for this area. If it's too much, we'll just have to put in another sewage plant, because of course there's the ones coming from this direction are going to need to come into this side. So this could get very busy. In fact, I think this will need its own sewage plant. So this will, I think this will be, no, I think, well, it doesn't make any difference, because if this fills up, we're putting a switch in there and this is going to be working at maximum capacity, it won't make any difference. So we'll start with that. That will cover this main area here. The water supply, I mean, this can produce 390 tons of water, and this will feed into here. What's the water connections here? Okay, we've got an output that way. So what we'll probably do to begin with is I'm just going to put a what I'm thinking about it. We're going to put a water connection there, but this one we're definitely put a split into it. So we got a water connection to there. I think what we'll do is we'll put a water switch about there. I don't want to connect it just yet. Run. We are going to need a pump. So where's the water connection there? I think we'll run big pumping station. We'll put you about there again. Oh yeah, well that's an output, so for the sewage, so that's not a problem. Can connect to there, and then you can run off the middle to there. And again, I think we'll just run off the middle to there. So what that will do is provide sewage and water to this area here. This will be an overlap to this area. Yeah, I think that will work. And apologies, I've got completely wrapped up in what I'm doing and I've overrun. So this is where I'm going to leave it. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Hope you found it interesting. What I will do is finish off moving these metro trains up here for storage and keep pushing forward. And what I'm going to do is play through for the rest of the autumn. Probably I'll play through for nearly a year, so that what we can have is an overlapping moving forward time slot, so we can look a little bit more about the harvest. Just get rid of all that. So this is where I'm going to leave it. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Hope you found it interesting. And until next time, whatever you do, enjoy your gaming.